Everybody, it's TomChenault's. It's the Hair on Fire call. I hope you're up and at 'em. We are home from Fort Wayne, Indiana. What an experience it was. I'll tell you, it was so great being there. So great seeing all those people. So great being part of a culture. Seeing Brent Schroeder and Peg Brady and those organizations there. Robin Stewart and Bob Stewart flew in from, they drove for over 3 hours to get there. I'm telling you, it is absolutely inspiring to see you guys grabbing the bull by the horns. And I'm going to tell you, I want to correlate a story with something that happened. Andy Myers was born with Down syndrome. At 9 months old, because of the lack of muscle control, he couldn't sit up and he couldn't crawl. His parents had an idea: swimming. The doctors said he wouldn't walk until he was 3 years old. He proved them wrong at 13 months. He learned arithmetic by counting laps, social skills from competing in meets. At 8, he entered the Special Olympics. At age 21, he swam the San Francisco Bay. And at 23, he was invited to the Special Olympics World Summer Games. Andy's hands and feet are the size of a 5-year-old's. His height is only 5'1". Even in the Special Olympics, he was an underdog. But he's got 15 world records. His statement is, "I am no different from you." You, on this call, are no different than any triple diamond out there, any Kona double diamond out there, any Fiji double diamond out there, any Tahiti double diamond out there. You just need to look up and say, "I am not going to be stopped, no matter what. No matter what I think I have against me, I'm not going to slow down. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to get on my horse, and I'm going to go. And I'm going to bring my team with me." When I was in Indiana, it astounded me at how few people knew about the Hair on Fire call. And that's because they're not opening up their email, but more importantly, their leaders aren't telling them. Because when their leaders told them, when I told them on Saturday, they were pumped to be on it. Your team doesn't know about this call. You think they do. You might even have a resentment about them not being on, and they might not even know what's happening. I know several of you send out tremendous text messages every morning to your team to remind them. I think that's extraordinary. I want you to keep doing that. But by goodness, please call people on the phone. We've got to reinvent this word talking. We've got to stop texting. We've got to stop emailing. And we've got to reinvent the word talking. That's what we do. We talk. I want the red badge of courage. I'm telling you, I had to leave at 3 o'clock in the morning. Actually, 4:30 in the morning. 4:30. No, we had to leave at 4. So that means we had to get up at 3:30 to go to this to go to the airport on Friday. And I woke up at 3:30 and my eye popped open and I looked over and my wife's eyes were already open because she was already thinking about you people and the Hair on Fire call on Friday. And the work she did to deliver that call and the time she took and the effort she extended was extraordinary. The courage to go do that, extraordinary. And I want you guys to know this. That isn't what she does. She does unbelievable things greatly, including that, but that was a step out there for her. I want you to think about the step that you're going to take out there today. What is going to be just a tiny bit different that is going to make that difference between winning and losing in this game? Somebody told me on the weekend, "Tom, you've got to be a little nicer." Today, I'm going to focus on that. I am going to focus on being a lot nicer. Every time somebody makes a contribution and has the courage to tell you something, you need to look at it, you need to own it, and you need to do it. Think about that a little bit. What can you do to be a little bigger in the game today? What extra mile can you go to make your 4 leaders or the people on your prospect list know how special they are to you? They've got to feel special. Leroy, he's at Kurdoff out there and his beautiful new wife. They made the special effort to pick me up and drop me off from the airport, from the motel. They were trying to help me all they could to go that extra mile. Think about that extra mile for you. Think about what that extra mile is for you to do today. Think about that for your spouse. Think about it for your children. Think about it for a stranger. We are living in a very angry country right now. Take a look out there. Take a look at what happened down in Tucson, Arizona. People are mad, they're upset, they're frustrated, they're angry, and they're broke. You guys are the solution to that. You've got the ability to give them happiness, time, and money. All you need to do is be part of the solution and not part of the problem. But you're going to have to go just one extra step today. Where can you go that is going to go out just one extra step? What's it going to be? What's that extraordinary measure you're going to take? Maybe Charlie's got some snow there in Arkansas. Maybe he shovels the snow for the little old lady next door. I don't know what it is that you're going to do that's extraordinary today that you didn't do yesterday or Saturday or Friday, but think about that today. And as you're interviewing people, as you're talking to people, I'm telling you, all you're doing is talking. All you're doing is being interested. That in itself is a contribution. Think about that. Think about that, Mike Abraham, Kelsey Abraham, Mr. Herrera over there in Utah, Jerry in Utah, thinking about the whole state of Utah. I can't believe as I look down this list how many Utah people are on here. And as I look at this thing, I'm thinking, man alive, there is no way on earth that these great people out there can't just duplicate. And all of a sudden, we are the solution, not the problem. It starts with us. It starts with us being happier. It starts with us being more productive, more focused, more driven, more motivating, and more inspiring. We can't be pissed off. It doesn't do anybody any good. And you get mad enough, you start thinking about shooting people. And you get really mad and you just do it. And you don't need that. That little kid that did that in Arizona looked like anybody else's little kid. But something went wrong. He bought into the madness. Don't you guys do that. Buy into the greatness. Buy into the greatness of today. Buy into the greatness of your family, of your neighborhood. Work in your community. Whatever it takes. But let's go. Let's be great. Let's be bold. Let's be happy. That's the name of the game. And it starts today with leadership. You can change the world 4 people at a time. Denise and I have over 180,000 people in our longevity organization. How did that happen? 4 people heard the message. 4 people heard the message, and all of a sudden, it started turning magic. And those 4 people started telling other people. And the next thing you know, you've got this organization. Think about it, having 180,000 happy people living in the solution instead of the problem. What would that 180 do? They'd double, and they'd be 360. And it would keep going and going and going. And finally, millions of people would be taking their destiny into their own hands. And you could look back on that moment and say, that started when I decided it started. Brent Schroeder, I tell you, your wife was beautiful. Your goals of that 4-bedroom house were those four boys and that beautiful family of yours with a beautiful little woman's room for your wife because he's got 4 boys. There's 5 boys in the house all of a sudden, including Brent. And his wife needs a nice little woman's area because it's so testosterone at that house. And he's got these dreams. He could see the house. He could see where it was. He's starting there. Sure, he's got big dreams of some material stuff. But right now, he wants the Ponderosa for that family of his. You've got to love that. Where is your dream? What will you reach for? What will you do? How badly do you want it? Do I need to remind you of it every day of your life? I'll do that if you want me to. So every one of you, today, identify that why that will make you cry. Identify what it is that's going to drag you out in this snowstorm they've got here in Colorado. Shovel those walks up in Conifer, Colorado. Pick up the snow shovel and get moving. And then come back in that house and pick up something even heavier, that telephone, get on it and get to work. That's all it takes. That's my story. I am sticking to it. I love you guys.